Good morning. Hi, Nyari. How are you? I'm feeling much better now. Thank you. Just waiting for a few people to join. Then I share with you the news on the health and care worker visa. The reason for the delays of the C.O.S. Because a lot of people have been asking why their C.O.S. are delaying. And there was an update from the Downing Street yesterday, which I want to share with you. Hi, Caroline. Golden, how are you? Witness, good morning. Good morning, Onyi. Vinny, how are you guys? Oh, you can hear me. I just want to dive straight into the video, guys, without wasting any of your time. Morning, Tendai. Morning, Rufaro. I hope you are all doing well. I'm okay. I'm fairly well. So today, guys, a lot of people have been asking why their certificate of sponsorship is delaying. As we all know, next week, just a few weeks, in a few days' time, the health and care worker visa, there are going to be so many changes. The health care assistants, the senior care assistants are not going to be able to bring their dependents from overseas. There are a lot of people who are currently waiting for the health and care worker. There are a lot of people currently waiting for their certificate of sponsorship, and they've been wondering why their certificate of sponsorship is not coming through. So yesterday there was an update from, it's not from the Home Office, but from the Downing Street. As you all know, the Downing Street were looking at the minister, the minister and the home secretary. When we're talking of the Downing Street, those are the people that we're talking about. So I'll just read from what the article said yesterday. I wrote it down, so don't mind if I'm looking down. So the thing is, they say the government hopes the measures will bring down record levels of immigration to Britain. So as we all know, last year there was a major concern that a lot of people migrated to UK with their dependents, and there were record levels, like record high levels. Almost a million people, more than 750,000 people migrated to the United Kingdom, and they were not happy with the levels of migration. So now they are going to stop dependence of healthcare assistants and senior care assistants from joining their families here in UK, because their hopes is to bring the numbers down. However, they say that, concerns have been raised about suspected fake companies sponsoring visas. Over hundreds of licenses were reportedly granted to firms that are just a few months old and have no history of providing care. Then they go on to say at least 268 companies that have never been inspected by the CQC have also been granted licenses to sponsor workers from overseas, an investigation by the Observer found. Guys, may you kindly like this video before I give you an explanation. I only have one like with 56 people. May you please kindly like this video. Liking it is totally free, guys. Liking the video is totally free. So please like this video and do share, because a lot of people are concerned about their C.O.S. and whether they're going to continue getting their C.O.S. Do share this video with those who are interested in relocating to overseas, because this information might benefit them or is going to benefit them. So as you can see, guys, why are the certificate of sponsorship delaying? They are delaying because the Home Office, they've started a new crackdown. The other time there was a crackdown where they wanted to identify companies which were making people pay from overseas and all that. They've since discovered that from all the companies which are licensed to sponsor, the majority of them are just new companies, and the majority of them have not been inspected by the CQC. which is the Care Quality Commission. The new rule which is going to come into effect from next week is that any company which is sponsoring people from overseas is supposed to be inspected by the CQC. So if the CQC does not inspect the company, that company cannot hire you from overseas. So like these people have already said, 268 companies. We know that thousands of people are waiting for their certificate of sponsorship. So if it's 268 companies, the likelihood is that your company as well might be amongst the 268 companies which are waiting to be inspected by the CQC, or which were never inspected by the CQC. You understand, guys? So if those were never inspected by the CQC, everything will come to a halt, because most of the companies, they said they are fake. Remember when the health and care worker visa came into effect, a lot of people were rushing to make the money through the health and care worker visa, because a lot of people were willing to pay thousands and thousands of pounds. So people saw it as an opportunity to milk people of their hard-earned cash. That's why a lot of companies, as this is written, that's why a lot of companies are very new companies who have zero experience in care but are licensed to sponsor, and they are the ones who are sponsoring from overseas. Before I proceed, do you have any questions? Good morning, Spencer, Mercy, Happiness, Ruru, Nyarai. Thank you guys for joining. May you kindly like this video. Titi, Ntando, Favored, Brightness, Nomazulu, Promise, Catherine. Good morning, guys. Kindly like this video and share it with people who are willing to migrate to overseas. And if you have any questions before I proceed, do you have any questions, guys? Throw them in before I proceed. This is going to be a short video. Caroline, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm also happy, Gugu, to be here. Thank you for tuning in. All is clear so far. Yes, all is clear so far. So how do we map the way forward, guys? Are we still willing to relocate to UK in 2024? If you are willing to relocate to UK in 2024, comment down below so that I see that you're still willing to relocate to UK in 2024. How do you manage to get their chance? You see, I'm talking of the health and care worker visa, and the majority of people who are on this life, they've already done all the necessary requirements to relocate to overseas. They've done their TB test, police clearance, IELTS, English test, band score of 5 at least. They've gained relevant experience, and all they are waiting for is to get companies which are willing to hire them from overseas. That's how you can get here. That's good, guys. I really wanted to hear you saying yes, 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 you want to come to UK, because what has happened is, good morning, Tariro. What has happened is a majority of people now want to give up, because majority of people now want to give up because of this thing that you're not going to be able to bring your family and so forth. But if you look at this article, of which I'm going to leave the link to this article in the description box, they are not happy about these measures which have been put in place. You understand? They are not happy with the measures because they see that there's a likelihood that the NHS is going to suffer tremendously, because like if you read the article, it states that more than 600,000 people relocated to UK in the past year through the health and care worker visa, and a lot of people through the skilled worker visa, and a lot of people migrated through the health and care worker visa. Why? Because there's a critical shortage of healthcare staff here in the United Kingdom. So currently, this is something which they're going to implement, right? If you look, already the United Kingdom is crying because they banned students from bringing their families to UK. But those students were a source of money to the United Kingdom. If you read the newspapers, they've been crying all over that they are not getting students anymore. Obviously, if they're not getting students anymore, it means the economy is going to crash. So now we don't know what is going to happen. They've already said that they don't want people to bring people from overseas. We don't know what is going to happen in the first 6 months or 7 months or 8 months or 10 months. We have no idea what is going to happen. So the important thing is, do not despair. Whatever the decision is, whether you're not going to be able to bring your family, just come to the United Kingdom, because you don't know that what's going to happen 6 months down the line. You don't know what's going to happen a year down the line. And what you have to know is that just because you cannot bring your dependents over with you to UK to come and join you, it does not necessarily mean that your dependents can never come to the UK. That's one thing that you have to understand. It doesn't mean that, because remember, there are different types of visas that can be granted to you to come to UK even if you're not coming to work. We've got a visitor's visa, which is 6 months. We've got another visitor's visa, which is 2 years. We've got a visitor's visa, which is 10 years, which means your partner or your whatever or your relative, if they are granted that visa for 10 years, they'll be able to come and go, come and go, come and go into the UK. So you always think of plan B before you give up. You understand? You come here, you work for your family. If you want to invite your wife over the holidays, you invite your wife over. She's granted visa for 6 months. She comes and stays with you for 6 months. She goes back. You work. You send money home and all that. 6 months later, she comes back again and all that. So you always think of plan B. I'm thinking, like, as I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking people can still come to UK even if your family doesn't join you. You understand? After all, if you are staying together with your husband and wife, you tend to give each other a headache. I'm joking. All right, let me see if there are any questions. All the requirements have all the requirements for care assistance from Zimbabwe. Faith, if you have all the requirements, as you see, a lot of people are giving up. This is your chance to strike the iron while this is still hot. A lot of people are giving up. While these people are giving up, more vacancies are opening. More companies are, if you look at the list of licensed sponsors on a daily basis, they are adding new companies. And as they are adding those new companies are have already been, because ordinarily here in Northern Ireland, before a company is given a license to sponsor, before a company is given permission to hire people, they need to investigate and see that, okay, everything is up to scratch. People, they are able to care for residents and all that, and they give a satisfactory review or a good review, a very good review. You see, so I don't know how these fake companies that they're talking about manage to get licenses without being visited by the CQC. 268 companies is a lot. And I don't know who is to blame in that instance. Is it not the Home Office? Did they not do their investigations first before giving licenses to false companies, to fake companies? Because I'm of the idea that before you give a license to any company, you have to make sure that the company has been in operation. You have to make sure that the company knows what they are doing, because we have had instances where companies, you know what has been happening. People are living in the street because of such fake companies. So that's why you will not get your C.O.S. if your company is a fake company in courts. So let me check the questions. Favored says, hi Popo, so let's say I come in there, a good chance that I will bring in my daughter in years to come. I am slowly giving up. Been applying, papers expiring, renewing. Honestly, this journey is hard. This journey is not easy, but we have to appreciate that it is so far the easiest route to get into UK. That's why it is not easy, because a lot of people know that this is the easiest route to come to UK. As for coming to UK, will your daughter join you? Remember that that's just that 5 years is a long time. But remember that after 5 years, you are no longer on any visa. That's what you have to know. After 5 years, you won't be on any visa. As soon as you get your citizenship or your whatever, you are no longer under any visa. You are no longer under any sponsorship. So someone can say, okay, for these 5 years, my wife or my children or whatever can be coming and going, coming and going. Then after 5 years, I'm free Mandela. I'm free to do what I want. If I want to do 2 jobs, nothing can stop you from doing 2 jobs. What you can do after those 5 years, you can work at a supermarket as well as work as a care assistant, and you have a salary, which is a salary, yearly salary, which is far above the salary threshold. And if your salary is far above the salary threshold, whatever salary threshold, you can now bring in your dependents from overseas, because we're just looking at the immediate, right? That right now I can't bring my dependents and so forth, but 5 years later you won't be tied to anyone. You won't be tied to any company. You won't be tied to any sponsor. You won't be restricted to work as a healthcare assistant here in the United Kingdom. You won't be restricted. You are free to do, even if you want to do 3 jobs, which will enable you to get the amount of money which is needed by the United Kingdom. You can do 3 jobs. You can do delivery jobs. And if you are doing delivery, because I was talking to a guy who delivers food yesterday when I ordered food from work. He said to me, per given day, he can make 200 up to 300 pounds per given day. So let's say in the event that you come and you don't bring your family in, then you'll be bringing them. After 6 months, they come and visit, they go back. A year later, they come and visit, they go back. It's not, and you also visit them. You get what I'm saying? They come and see you, you also go and see them, which means you are maintaining that bond between you and your family. And then when the 5 years comes, you are now free. You do your deliveries, you get your 2,000 pounds per month. You do your healthcare assistant, you get your 1,800 pounds per month. At the end of the year, how much money are you making? You are making a lot of money, because I know people who are making more money than me as a nurse just by doing Amazon deliveries, just by doing Just Eat deliveries. Just Eat is like a food company where you can get your KFC or McDonald's or whatever delivered by the door. And this individual was telling me that I've delivered over 15,000 deliveries. You understand? In just a space of 1 year. So you think outside the box. Just don't cry and say, oh, I'm not going to bring my family and so forth. Even if you come to UK without your family, no one stops your family from visiting. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So you just think of the bigger picture. Okay, let's say we'll be visiting each other. You maintain that relationship. You maintain that bond. I visit them, they visit me. I visit them, they visit me. Then after 5 years, we are free to do whatever we want. And if you meet the salary threshold, no one can stop you from bringing your family to UK, because you are not under the health and care worker visa anymore. You are free to do whatever you want. You are now part of the UK. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? I hope you're understanding me. And if you're understanding me, smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. So let me check if there are more questions. Kalesile, it's very difficult to get sponsorship because, like I've already said, everyone, 20,000 people in Nigeria, not even 20,000, maybe 80,000 people in Nigeria, because the population is millions and millions. Another 5,000 from Zimbabwe, 5,000 from South Africa, 5,000 from Zambia, 5,000 all over Africa, 80,000 from India. They all want to come to the UK because the health and care worker visa is the easiest route. It does not need a degree. And in some instances, you don't need a lot of experience. And guys, before I move on, I've been drafting CVs for people. If you don't have experience on your CV, let me just make it clear to you. I cannot perform any magic. It's difficult. I cannot perform any magic and put experience that you don't have in your CV. I cannot like lie in your CV. Someone has not worked in care, someone has no experience, someone has never seen a patient in their lives, and they want me to draft a CV. What am I supposed to put in that CV? Honestly, what am I supposed to put? Because someone said, oh, you did not. I cannot perform magic, guys. I cannot perform magic. So you need to have that relevant experience. It's not like just because this is an easiest route, the UK is going to pick anyone from the street so that you come and work. No, you need to know what you're doing. You need to go and gain that experience, even if it means you're getting volunteer experience. Don't draft CVs with zero experience, because no one is going to hire you when there are 80,000 people with experience who are trying to come to UK. I hope that point is clear, guys. Please go and get valuable experience. A lot of companies are being investigated by the CQC and all that, and they are being given the go ahead to hire from overseas. So right now we are not giving up. We are fighters. We just don't give up. We just don't say, oh, I quit. We fight until the end. So you are going to continue fighting until you get that job, even if it is difficult, even if it means you're going to spend sleepless nights applying day in, day out. It's not over until it's over. You do not give up on your dreams easily just like that. Oh, it's difficult. No. Keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting. You never know. I always say sometimes you'll be ready to give up, yet you're this close to getting your gold. This close. So just don't give up. Remember, I've been telling you that I did a CV for someone who had applied for over 200 times. Over 200 times, and she was at the verge of giving up and said, Popo, can you construct this CV for me? That individual was invited for three interviews and has since secured a job. So do you see, if she had given up and said, okay, I've applied over 200 times, I give up, was she going to get that job? After applying for 2 years, she was at the verge of giving up, but was like, oh, let me try one more time. And as we speak, she's just waiting for her certificate of sponsorship. Understand, guys? So sometimes you'll be saying, oh, it's difficult. Beautiful things don't come easy, because this is beautiful. You understand? This is a beautiful thing. If you're able to relocate, because I talk a lot, guys, forgive me. I've seen a lot of families who have located to UK with their children. They really say, Pauline, this has been such a blessing to us. Because you might be thinking that, okay, I'm going to go and work. It's not only about you. Think of the benefits that your children are going to reap. Think of the benefits that your husband is going to reap. See, my younger brother is working as a data scientist here in UK. But he came with the wife through the health and care worker visa. The wife is a care assistant here, but because of that blessing of relocating to UK, he is working as a data scientist at a bank. You understand? So it means using this visa route is such a blessing. You just don't give up. Your children will go to school for free. Your children will be in a first world country. Your children, you cannot compare the primary school in Madlambos in the primary schools here in the United Kingdom. So just don't give up, guys. I know that it's a headache after headache after headache, but keep pushing. You could be near. Let me see if there are more questions. Margaret, my niece is waiting to come to UK, waiting for companies which offer C.O.S. She's got everything. Please advise which companies offer C.O.S. Thank you and stay blessed. See, I've been promising to bring you a lot of videos, but due to circumstances beyond my control, because I fell sick, I was called back to the hospital, I had to do the CT scans and so forth. I was not able to bring forth the videos that I promised. But now, I'm not fine, because I still have to go for the other CT scans and so forth. Like, the condition that I have is a life-threatening condition, if I can put it, because if anything happens, like let's say if you've got a clot, if it's dislodged or anything and it goes into the circulatory system, you can just die just like that. So it is not just an ordinary condition that I'm suffering from. It's a condition that can end my life just like that. That's why I was not doing videos. Depression, stress and all that, because it's stressful. If you are a single mother and you have your children solely depending on you, and you're being called by the doctors left, right and center saying, we've got this emergency, you need to do an emergency CT scan, this can happen, you could drop dead and die at any minute. It's not easy. So that's why I'd come to a point of even giving up on doing YouTube. But I cannot give up on what I love. You understand? So now I am going to do that video if I am physically fit to do so, on how you can get the companies that you need to apply to and so forth and so on, because and how you can get companies which have got a good CQC rating and which have been approved to sponsor from overseas. I'll do a video on that because a lot of people don't seem to know how to get those companies. Let me see if there are any more questions. Hi, Peggy. Then Stella says, hi, if I come, then I look for a job in the NHS, then my family can come, right? Okay, so I have to clarify this because there was a lot of confusion. I've heard people coming to my inbox asking me. I don't normally like commenting about what other YouTubers say or whatever, because sometimes I don't even watch the videos, so it's difficult for me to even comment to say, okay, this YouTuber said this or that YouTuber said that. So the thing was, a lot of people are thinking that if you come and work as a care assistant in the NHS, you can bring your dependents. I've said this and I'll say it again. There are different codes. If you are very fortunate to secure a job under code 6141 in the NHS, that is a shortage occupation list code which is able to bring dependents from overseas. You'll be able to bring your dependents from overseas. But if you secure a job under 6145 or 6146, even if you are within the NHS, you'll not be able to bring your dependents from overseas. So let me clarify that. It's not all care assistants who go and work in the NHS are going to be able to bring in their dependents. No, those who come in as nursing assistants. I even said to you the other day that when I went to the hospital, I was attended to by nursing assistants. Nursing assistants are able to do an ECG because that's what they did on me. They did an ECG on me. Those are nursing assistants. They collected bloods from me. Those are nursing assistants, the vital observations. Whereas care assistants, 6145, they don't do the ECGs, they don't collect the bloods, they don't catheterize, they don't do all those things. They just do activities of daily living like washing, grooming, assisting with mobility, and so forth and so on. So if you want, when you come to UK, if you want to switch, let's say you want to switch from 6141, make sure that you switch to 6141. Code 6141 is the one which enables you to bring your dependents. Working in the NHS as a care assistant, as a band 3614546, it won't enable you to bring your dependents to UK. I hope that point is clear. Then Onye says, I noticed that they've adjusted to hiring people within the UK, and it's only when they can't find people within the UK, they look outside. And a lot of people in the UK are now all about care jobs. My dear, this has always been the case. From time immemorial, before you hire from overseas, you have to show the Home Office that you did advertise the job here in the United Kingdom and you did not get anyone in the United Kingdom to undertake that job. So that's what they've been doing. They've been hiring within the UK first. And if there's no one to fill in the position within the UK, they extend to outside the UK. So it's not something which is new. It's something which was always happening from time immemorial, because that's what they say. You look at the market first. Are there people within the UK who can take the jobs? If they are not there, then they hire from overseas. The problem now with people who are in UK, there are people who came without hours. You know that. There are a lot of people who came without hours, and now they are looking for switch. You understand? That's why they're now taking from UK, because there are a lot of people who need switch. If they run out of people who need switch, then they will hire from overseas. The reason why they started hiring from overseas is because they were not getting people within the UK. And that is the same thing even up to today. If they fail to get from here, they'll hire from overseas. But they'll not hire from overseas if they have someone in here. From time immemorial. What about 6141? Does it allow to bring dependents? Yes, it does. Faith says, I applied many companies. I think my CVs are weak. I don't want to lose hope. Help me understand you, my African mentor, about dependence. Okay. Sometimes you see, like I'm saying to you, I've been contacting CVs for people. Someone who has been applying, someone says I've been applying for 2 years. And they've been sitting for 2 years. UK is all about experience. You understand, guys? If the competition is very stiff, if I'm an employer, I will not take someone who's working in the supermarket as opposed to someone who is volunteering and working at an old people's home. Those are some of the reasons why our CVs are not picked. Or even if they are picked, they look at the CV. It's now been picked. They're now looking at the CV. And some of us even lie in our CVs. Because, I don't want to question people, but you can tell that this is a lie. I work as a care assistant for a private family. Guys, I work as a care assistant for a private family. What are the odds of working as a care assistant for a private family? You understand? I'm working for a private family, and then they look at that, they say, okay, where is the evidence that you are working for a private family? Because we're going to ask for references. Is the private family the hospital and all that? So if you don't have the relevant experience, remember you are competing with primary care nurses, because primary care nurses can come in as, we've got 7 years experience and you've got 0 years experience. But because people heard that this is the easiest route to come to UK, they don't make an effort. They've done their Red Cross, everything. They sit at home and apply for jobs, seated, not working. UK will not pick you. Here in UK, even if you've got a master's and there's someone with a degree who's got more experience than you, they'll pick someone with a degree because they've got experience. They're going to know what they're supposed to be doing when they come to work. You understand? So look at that. Do you have experience? Do you have the relevant experience? Are you currently working? And is your CV going to sell you? Right. Yeah. And then Kalesla says, okay, sis, I wish to ask, I also have experience of restaurant. Can I apply for restaurant industry? Well, in the hospitality industry, they currently have jobs for chefs. I don't know if I'm calling it correctly. Chef, whatever I call it. Those people who cook. I was talking to an individual who actually managed to get a job as a chef here in the UK. So that is the industry which is currently hiring from overseas, the chefs. They are not currently hiring waiters and waitresses. And those who are hiring waiters and waitresses, they prefer to take them within the EU, European Union. So they are not taking waiters and waitresses from overseas, but they are taking chefs from overseas, because this chef that I was talking to actually comes from Zimbabwe. And then Lawson Fatzai says, so those waiting for C.O.S for switch are most likely to get them after 11 March, right? There is a likelihood that you can get your C.O.S as long as you continue to work, right? As you are continuing to work, as more companies get their C.O.S, as more companies are approved by the CQC, you can apply, you can be able to switch at any time. Nothing can stop you from switching. The only problem only comes in if the license for your company has been revoked and you only have 60 days to look for a job, or else leave the United Kingdom. As I speak to you guys, there are people who have left the United Kingdom because they were given the 60 days and they're not able to get jobs within 60 days. So be very mindful. And like this article that we've already talked about, they stated that companies which are new, avoid applying to new companies. Understand? Look for companies which have been here in operation for 20 years. Companies like Four Seasons Healthcare, companies like Beaumont Healthcare, companies like McLean and so forth. Companies which have been in operation for a long time. Not these new companies that we are seeing which have been in operation for 6 months, 3 months, 1 year. They are only after chopping your money. And pretty soon, because the Home Office stated just yesterday that they are on a crackdown. They might be on a crackdown and discover that they are actually fake companies or whatever, and then they will revoke the license. Or the CQC can go and investigate, because 268 companies have not been seen by the CQC. The CQC can go and say, in these 268 companies, they are not complying. Can they be shut down? Because CQC can do that. All right. Promising Ndlovu, can my partner work or do anything that pays within those 6 months they are visiting? Unfortunately, you cannot work on a visitor's visa unless, don't quote me, okay? Don't quote me. Unless, should I say this? Unless they do things like what we call peace jobs. You come to my house here, you clean, I give you £50. You take care of people's children. I'll come and drop my child so that you take care of my child, and I give you £50 per day or £20 per day or whatever. At the end of the day, you make 500, 600 or whatever amount of money. That's what people have been doing, but don't quote me. I did not say that. Can you do tricks on it? What tricks? Marvelous. I am doing very well. Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is okay. Let me see if can I send my niece's CV, please. I'm going to leave the link in the description box where you can actually purchase a CV construction. How about if you are registered nurse from Zim? Do I need to have an extra qualification to work as a carer? No, you are already overqualified. You don't need an extra qualification. Your qualification is enough, but you need to have because us as nurses here, we do on a yearly basis, we do the courses like safeguarding of vulnerable adults, C.O.S, when you talk of managing poisonous substances and so forth. There are online training courses that you need to do. So you just look at the 15 care standards of care assistants and do those courses. You can even do them free online and then have those courses. Just have those certificates, then you're good to go. Otherwise your diploma is good enough. Nonsigi, so I just want to know if the Indeed jobs are valid, because I've been applying but regrets. If there are links that can make me smile. Okay, if you look at Indeed, they mostly ask you to upload your CV, right? And what happens with Indeed, they use the application tracking system, and I've been trying to post jobs from Indeed, but the time we discover the job, they've already taken 50 applications. So at the end of the day, you are not picked because there are so many people. The competition is very high. Indeed.com is a highly, 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 highly reliable source, but the problem is the posts fill in faster than lightning. That's the only problem. So you can apply now. By the time you finish uploading your CV, the application tracking system is already closed, because they've already taken. Because if sometimes they just need 5 people, and someone is applying at the same time with you, they've already uploaded their CV. 50 people upload within 10 minutes, and then they just close. That's where the problem is. The competition. That's where the problem is. Otherwise, ordinarily, I would say avoid Indeed jobs, because everyone wants Indeed jobs. You understand? Go to care homes. Go to, different companies which are not like, go on their website, check their website. Are they licensed to sponsor? Present yourself, apply, and then you stand a better chance, because you don't have competition. Look at the list of licensed sponsors. They are getting their licenses on a daily basis. Apply, present yourself. You indicate that you noted that they are licensed to sponsor and you need sponsorship. You stand a chance of getting a job there than on Indeed. Because on Indeed, India, Zambia, Zimbabwe, everyone is applying on Indeed. Each country is applying. Think where you are, how many people want to relocate to UK as care assistants. And everyone is searching care assistant jobs with visa sponsorship on Indeed. Once it comes out, it's not only you who's applying, 20 of you are applying at the same time. So that's the problem. Thank you, Winfrida. I will take care. All right, guys. I think I have answered most of the private family. Yeah, most of the questions. Let me see if there's one more that I can take. Yes, you can work as a nursing assistant if you are a diploma holder with over 18 years experience, because a nursing assistant, they really need like a higher qualification like a diploma, so a diploma will be fine. For those who need help with their CVs, I'm going to leave the link in the description box where you can actually purchase a CV construction, and I'll construct the CV for you. Portia, the issue of dependents, I've already said the dependents, as from next week, you'll not be able to bring your dependents, but that's not the reason to stop you from coming to UK. Come to UK and you figure all else when you are now here. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you. May you kindly like this video and share it and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And I will continue to do videos, but I will not promise 100% because I am not well. I'm talking, but I am not well. That's the thing. So if I feel fine like today, I'll come and do the video, or do a video and post it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.